Mysterious object captured by pilot. The image in question, allegedly captured by a commercial pilot during a routine flight, depicts a bright, radiant object in the night sky. According to the pilot's account, the object appeared suddenly and overtook his aircraft at an astonishing speed. The central portion of the object emitted an intense, concentrated light, so bright that it obscured any finer structural details. From this brilliant core, several beams or trails of light extended outward, appearing to streak behind it as it moved. The pilot explained that as soon as he noticed the object, he was struck by the absence of standard aviation lighting. In compliance with international flight regulations, all aircraft are required to display specific navigation and anti-collision lights, red on the left wing, green on the right, and white on the tail, along with strobe lights for visibility. The mysterious object bore none of these identifying markers. This detail alone was unusual enough to prompt him to reach for his phone and capture a photograph. As he observed, the object did not linger for long. After pacing alongside the aircraft for only a brief moment, it accelerated away at a speed unlike anything he had seen before in his years of flying. The acceleration was smooth and sudden, with no sign of gradual build-up, leading him to conclude that the craft was capable of propulsion far beyond current known aviation technology. The light trails visible in the image may have been the result of high-speed motion, or possibly emissions from whatever propulsion system the object employed. The pilot's description has sparked considerable speculation. Some researchers and enthusiasts believe the image could represent genuine evidence of an unidentified flying object. They point to the extraordinary speed, the lack of conventional lighting, and the object's ability to overtake a commercial aircraft mid-flight as characteristics not consistent with typical aircraft, civilian or military. The brightness of the core light, they suggest, may indicate the use of an energy source or propulsion system unfamiliar to current engineering. Others have theorized that the object could be a new form of advanced military technology undergoing testing. Such a craft could potentially use experimental propulsion systems capable of incredible speed and maneuverability. However, many question the likelihood of testing such technology in proximity to a commercial flight path, citing the potential safety risks and the strict regulations governing airspace. The absence of any public announcement or explanation from military or aviation authorities further deepens the mystery. The image itself, while limited by the quality of a smartphone camera, clearly captures the unusual formation of light. The intense central glow dominates the frame, while the elongated light trails create a sense of dynamic movement. The object's presence against a backdrop of stars underscores the altitude and isolation of the encounter, lending weight to the pilot's claim that this occurred at cruising altitude in open airspace. For the pilot, the experience was both brief and deeply perplexing. He described being left with far more questions than answers about the origin of the object, its purpose, and the technology that enabled it to appear and disappear so swiftly. The sighting has remained vivid in his memory, not only because of the object's unusual appearance, but also because of the speed and ease with which it left the area. While skeptics may seek terrestrial explanations, the combination of eyewitness testimony, photographic evidence, and the unusual flight behavior continues to intrigue those open to the possibility that our skies may host craft far beyond our current understanding. Whether the object was an otherworldly visitor or a secret human-made vehicle, the encounter stands as another reminder that the skies above us still hold mysteries waiting to be solved. This image, with its radiant core and trailing beams of light, may one day be seen as an important piece of a much larger puzzle. Mysterious object seen leaving the moon. A peculiar photograph has circulated among space enthusiasts, showing what appears to be a mysterious object departing from the surface of the moon. The image captures a small but distinct form, seemingly in motion, leaving behind a faint trail as if propelled away from the lunar surface. The backdrop is the stark blackness of space, contrasted by the pale, cratered terrain of the moon. The nature of the object and its trajectory have led to much speculation, as the available information on the image is scarce. Even reverse image searches yield very little detail, adding to the intrigue surrounding its origin and authenticity. What makes the image particularly compelling is the suggestion of movement implied by the trail, which gives the impression that this is not simply a stationary anomaly or a camera artifact. The trail suggests propulsion or displacement, raising questions about whether the object is of human origin, a natural ejection from the moon's surface, or something entirely different. Without official confirmation or data, theories remain speculative. The mystery is deepened by the fact that no human has returned to the moon since the Apollo 17 mission in December of 1972. This long absence is puzzling to many, especially considering that today's technology is far more advanced than it was during the Apollo era. The engineering capabilities, computational power, and spaceflight experience available now would, in theory, make returning to the moon and establishing a human presence more achievable than ever before. Yet, despite these advancements, decades have passed without another manned lunar mission. For some, this gap raises questions that go beyond budgetary or political explanations. There are those who believe that something significant was discovered during the Apollo missions, something that may have discouraged further human activity on the moon. This theory suggests that the Apollo astronauts may have encountered phenomena or evidence that led to a decision, whether public or classified, to limit future manned exploration. The image of the unidentified object leaving the moon feeds directly into such speculation. If the object is not a natural lunar occurrence, such as debris from a meteor impact, then the possibility arises that it could be a craft or device, either of human or non-human design. The idea of advanced technology operating in proximity to the moon is compelling, especially for those who already suspect that the moon might host unknown activities beyond public awareness. While skeptics argue that the object could be explained by lens artifacts, debris close to the camera, or other mundane causes, the lack of clear information means definitive conclusions remain out of reach. As with many anomalies in space imagery, the absence of context allows the mystery to persist. Ultimately, the photograph serves as a visual reminder of how much remains unknown about our nearest celestial neighbor. Whether the object represents a mundane optical effect or a profound discovery, its mystery keeps alive the public's fascination with the moon and the unanswered questions that continue to surround it. Recently, a video surfaced on social media capturing what appears to be orb-like UFOs hovering above the Pentagon at night, sparking widespread curiosity and debate. The footage, which has quickly been shared to groups on social media that investigate UFO sightings, shows glowing orbs floating in a seemingly controlled pattern above the iconic building, known as the headquarters of the US Department of Defense. This unusual sight has left viewers across the world wondering about the origin and intent of these objects. The proximity of the UFOs to such a high-security location has led to intense speculation, with theories ranging from advanced military technology to extraterrestrial visitation. As people analyze and discuss the video, it has reignited questions about government transparency and how these objects are able to get close to highly secure areas. The video itself, reportedly captured by a passerby who happened to notice the lights while near the Pentagon, shows a series of glowing orbs in formation, hovering motionless in the sky. They maintain a steady brightness and appear to be arranged in a geometric shape, a characteristic that has intrigued many viewers. Throughout the recording, the orbs remain largely stationary, but occasionally shift slightly, hinting at an intelligence or control guiding their movement. Unlike drones, helicopters, or other aerial vehicles, these orbs emit no visible exhaust or sound, and their illumination is steady, not blinking or flashing as typical aircraft lights would. This has led some to rule out conventional aircraft or drones, especially given that the Pentagon's no-fly zone would make unauthorized drone activity unlikely. For many, the fact that these orbs were seen above the Pentagon adds a layer of intrigue and raises questions about the purpose of their presence at such a significant location. The Pentagon is not only one of the most secure facilities in the United States, but also the nerve center of the nation's defense operations. The appearance of unidentified flying objects in this airspace has prompted speculation about whether they are observing or possibly monitoring government activities. Some believe that the orbs might be related to surveillance operations, whether conducted by foreign entities or by advanced technology beyond current human understanding. The ease with which the orbs hover above such a restricted area also leads some to question whether they possess advanced cloaking technology, potentially allowing them to evade radar detection or visual identification from the ground. Theories about what these orb-like UFOs could be range widely. A popular theory among UFO researchers is that the orbs could represent advanced technology sent to Earth to observe human activity or specifically monitor military facilities. Advocates of this theory point out that the Pentagon, being a symbol of military power and strategic command, might attract the interest of advanced observers looking to understand the dynamics of human military power. They argue that if extraterrestrial intelligence exists, it would likely have advanced observational and surveillance capabilities, allowing it to study human activities discreetly. This theory aligns with the common belief among UFO researchers that many sightings occur near military installations and other strategic locations, possibly as a means of gathering intelligence or monitoring our technological capabilities. Another theory suggests that the orbs might be part of a psychological operation, or PSYOP, designed to observe public reactions to unidentified phenomena. Some analysts believe that government agencies sometimes test public responses to unusual occurrences, especially in light of increasing UFO disclosures by the US government. In recent years, the Department of Defense has openly acknowledged the existence of unexplained aerial phenomena and has created a task force to investigate them. The disclosure of UAP-related information could be a way of preparing the public for more revelations about non-standard aircraft, whether human-made or otherwise. Proponents of this theory argue that the Pentagon might use controlled displays of advanced technology, like the Orbs, to gauge public perception and readiness for future disclosures about advanced, potentially extraterrestrial technology. The video has sparked a lively debate on social media, where people continue to share their theories, dissect the footage, and demand more transparency from the government. Some users are calling for an investigation into the incident, with a particular focus on how objects could appear so close to the Pentagon without triggering immediate responses or explanations from officials. One of the most perplexing aspects of the recent orb sightings is their location, directly above the Pentagon, one of the world's most secure and heavily guarded buildings. The Pentagon, as the headquarters of the US Department of Defense, is fortified with layers of surveillance, strict no-fly zones, and a host of security measures designed to protect it from any potential threats. The fact that these orb-like objects were able to hover over such a sensitive location undetected, or at least unchallenged, is baffling, especially considering the Pentagon's close monitoring of its airspace. The Pentagon's airspace is protected not only by physical security, but also by advanced radar and defense systems, which are designed to detect and intercept any unauthorized aerial vehicles. Even a small civilian drone or unauthorized aircraft would likely trigger an immediate response. Yet these orbs reportedly hovered without interference, suggesting they either went undetected by standard radar or were able to bypass security systems in place. This level of apparent invulnerability has raised questions about the nature and intent of these objects, and whether they possess technology far more advanced than any conventional aerial vehicle. The orb's ability to linger above such a high-security site adds a layer of mystery and potential concern, as it raises questions about the possibility of surveillance or reconnaissance. If these orbs were controlled by foreign or advanced entities, their interest in the Pentagon might imply a motive to monitor US defense operations and capabilities. Moreover, their capacity to hover undetected above the Pentagon suggests that they might be equipped with cloaking or stealth technology far beyond what is known in modern defense systems. For many observers, the sight of these orbs at the Pentagon is a stark reminder that even the most fortified locations on Earth may not be fully equipped to deal with unknown aerial phenomena. The appearance of these orbs over the Pentagon, a symbol of national defense and security, brings up unsettling questions about the vulnerabilities of even the most protected facilities. Given the national security implications, many people are questioning why such an unusual display hasn't been publicly addressed by the Pentagon or other government agencies. This lack of communication has fueled ideas about government cover-ups and secret knowledge of extraterrestrial life, ideas that have long been associated with UFO phenomena. The orbs over the Pentagon are just the latest in a series of high-profile UFO sightings that have captured the public's attention. In recent years, declassified military footage showing encounters with unidentified objects has spurred serious discussions about the possibility of otherworldly visitors. High-ranking officials and former intelligence personnel have even made public statements suggesting that the government may know more about these phenomena than it has revealed. The orb sightings over the Pentagon add weight to these claims, presenting yet another mysterious event that defies conventional explanations and raises questions about what, if anything, the government might be hiding. As this video continues to circulate, many hope that the US government will address the incident directly. Whether these orbs represent extraterrestrial technology, experimental military drones, or something else entirely, the lack of transparency surrounding such encounters only deepens public suspicion. The sight of mysterious lights hovering above the heart of the nation's defense infrastructure has undoubtedly heightened interest in the subject of UFOs and UAPs, reinforcing a growing belief that there is more to these phenomena than meets the eye. The appearance of orb-like UFOs above the Pentagon has stirred public interest, but reports of such mysterious orbs over American skies are far from a new phenomenon. In fact, these luminous orbs have been witnessed in the United States for centuries, long before the invention of the airplane. Historical records, journals, and even newspaper clippings from the 1800s describe sightings of strange lights or balls of fire in the sky, particularly during nighttime. These early accounts were baffling to those who saw them, as there were no flying technologies available at the time to explain their presence. The orb's persistence through generations has led many to speculate that their origins could be far older and stranger than modern technology alone can explain. One of the earliest documented sightings occurred in 1639, when John Winthrop, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, recorded in his journal a strange encounter reported by James Everell and his two companions. They claimed to see a great light in the sky over the Charles River that appeared to move swiftly back and forth for several hours before vanishing into thin air. Everell described the light as flaming and illuminating the sky, attributes that match descriptions of more recent orb sightings. The incident perplexed the colonists, who attributed it to supernatural forces, as the idea of an unidentified flying object was inconceivable at the time. This account is one of the earliest documented reports of a UFO-like phenomenon in the New World, long before the concept of powered flight was even imagined. In the centuries that followed, orb sightings continued to occur sporadically across the United States, with increasing frequency in the 19th and early 20th centuries. In the 1800s, newspapers in New England and the Midwest occasionally ran stories about mysterious lights in the night sky. In 1878, an article in the Dallas Morning News described a bright, circular object seen hovering over a small Texas town. Witnesses reported that it emitted a steady white light and hovered at a low altitude before accelerating and disappearing. This account aligns closely with modern sightings of UFO orbs that demonstrate unusual speed and silence. Interestingly, these historical sightings often described orbs behaving in ways that defied gravity and physics, much like the recent sightings over the Pentagon. One of the most intriguing aspects of these early sightings is their consistency with modern reports. Despite advancements in technology, cameras, and detection methods, the behavior and characteristics of orb UFOs have remained largely unchanged. This continuity raises the question: if these objects predate modern aircraft, what could they be? Many theorists argue that the orbs might not be mechanical craft, but rather represent a different kind of phenomenon, potentially energy-based entities or probes that operate under unknown principles. Their ability to appear, hover, move at impossible speeds, and disappear could suggest a technology or form of existence entirely foreign to humanity's current understanding.